I'm Vince Wade. I want you to consider joining an uphill struggle. That struggle is to defeat Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in the upcoming election. I'm suggesting you consider contributing to political groups dedicated to voting him out, to ending his relentless effort to dismantle our democratic republic, or at least give him the election battle of his life. Most people who love this country are fixated on getting rid of Donald Trump. It should be our top priority. But our trouble goes beyond the tax-evading career criminal psychopath in the White House. Mitch McConnell of Kentucky is the enabler of a lot of the evil of Trump and his cult. McConnell is like the rattlesnake of the Senate, a venomous predator who is determined to pack the federal courts with radical right-wing judges who will roll back civil rights, voting rights, and environmental protection. McConnell is up for election in November, but getting rid of him will be difficult. He's been in the Senate since 1985, over 3 decades. He's been the Senate Majority Leader since 2015. Amy McGrath, his Democratic opponent, is putting up a good fight, but McConnell is the kept boy of big-money tycoons like casino mogul Sheldon Adelson. McConnell's priorities are whatever Adelson and his rich pals tell him they are. The GOP has been maneuvering for decades to gain control of the third branch of the federal government, the judiciary, through the appointment of right-wing zealots to the federal courts. By every measure, Republicans are succeeding, due largely to Mitch McConnell. Democrats sat on their hands and sat on their butts and let it happen over many years. McConnell has ridden roughshod over the Senate in ways reminiscent of the dramatic fistfight between a Nazi thug and Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Only the Democrats have acted more like the cowardly lion in The Wizard of Oz. Like the late Alabama Governor George Wallace standing in the schoolhouse door to block integration, McConnell has sought to eliminate any sense of fairness and balance in the nation's federal courts. Texas Senator Ted Cruz, regarded by many as an extremist, has made it clear Republican control of the supposedly independent Supreme Court is of paramount importance. A recent opinion column by Cruz in the New York Post is headlined, "The chance for a conservative Supreme Court is now." Undermining the independence of the third branch of government doesn't get much more blatant than that. Robert Reich, Labor Secretary under Bill Clinton and a UC Berkeley professor, is a frequent critic of McConnell.
No person has done more in living memory to undermine the functioning of the U.S. government than the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. As to the question of who is worse, Trump or McConnell, the answer is that it's too close to call. The two of them have degraded and corrupted American democracy.
A little over a year ago, MSNBC morning host Joe Scarborough infuriated McConnell by tagging him with the nickname Moscow Mitch for McConnell's refusal to consider legislation to combat Russian infiltration of our election process.
We now have the Intel Committee in the Senate run by North Carolina Republican Richard Burr, saying what? That the Russians tried to infiltrate all 50 states in 2016 to undermine American democracy and to undermine a free and fair election. And on the same day, Willie, Moscow Mitch blocks 2 bills that would actually protect us from a Russian invasion in this area.
McConnell's mission, first, last, and always, is to pack the federal courts with as many right-wing zealots as possible. That's where Amy Coney Barrett comes in. The frantic and rushed nomination of Barrett to replace the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg is critical to the Republican cult for several reasons. They're counting on her to vote to eliminate the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare, which will leave millions without health insurance to the benefit of the for-profit healthcare industry. They are counting on her to overturn Roe v. Wade and ban abortions in America. This is the holy grail for conservative Christians who are desperate to stop the decline in the white population. Perhaps most important to Trump, He is counting on her being beholden to him if the election winds up being decided by the Supreme Court, as it was in the Hanging Chad's election of 2000. Barrett's political legal extremism is enough to warm the heart of the most radical right-winger. She's an ultra-conservative Catholic with 7 kids, and she is a member of a secretive cult-like sect of the church known as People of Praise. People of Praise was the inspiration for a chilling book and TV series called The Handmaid's Tale. Women in People of Praise are submissive and obedient to their husbands. They used to call themselves handmaids. That demeaning term seems to have been dropped. How Barrett's devotion to this cult-like sect might influence her decisions on the High Court is a source of concern for many. Mitch McConnell is working overtime to get her on the Supreme Court in time for the election. If you want to help get rid of Mitch McConnell, it won't be easy, but we have to try. Here's the website info for Amy McGrath, his opponent. Go to amymcgrath.com. They'll be glad to get a donation. Another way to fight is to go to Ditch Mitch. They're set up to take donations to defeat McConnell. Black lives are disproportionately impacted by all courts, including the federal judiciary. Why there isn't a black-oriented campaign to defeat Mitch McConnell for all the damage he's done to blacks and all the damage he intends to inflict in the future is one of the great mysteries of the 2020 election. I'm Vince Wade.